wine label. Vaynerchuk, a fine New Jersey Cabernet. Red wine is poured into a glass, bubbles bounce. Glass morphs into computer screen. Wine Library TV, changing the wine world.
Hello everybody and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, aka the Internet's most passionate wine program, and we're going brown bagging. I heard a really, you know how they say, like, you gotta, wear a bag if you, like, hook up with an ugly guy or ugly girl? I heard a new term, a double bagger. You have to wear a brown bag, too, in case their bag falls off. I mean, just brilliant. Anyway, this is a double bagger, but in wine terms, head-to-head, ask the K-Murph, the real secret of Wine Library TV, she's tougher on these double blind tastings they're blind because double blind I would not know anything. I know these are Chardonnays. She's tough on these Chardonnays. She had me a little bit on the last episode, so I don't know what she's going to do, but Chardonnay, head-to-head, really excited about it. These brown bag shows are fun because they're usually a little bit tighter, so this won't be the longest episode of WLTV ever, which I think is kind of cool. And they're fun to compare and, just a lot of fun. And right off the bat, come on, I don't know if you can get it here. Let's go a little, we don't move enough lately. Is this a good backdrop or is this a bad backdrop?
It's as good as any.
Moving around the desk, Gary raises the glasses up in the air.
There we go.
What are you seeing, Mott? Do you see one's darker than the other?
In your left hand is definitely darker.
That is correct. So right off the bizat, as I like to say, we've got much more coloring on the left side. We'll see what comes through with that. I'm excited about that. And I'm actually going to move over this way first. Give it a little sniffy sniff. Might be a little lighter.
He smells the lighter colored wine on his right. Arms up, hands like claws.
The Oak Monster, who has not made an appearance in quite a while, not only made an appearance, it almost smells like he's smoking a cigarette. This is like oaky and smoky in my nose.
Sniffs again.
Wow. A huge dosage of Hacksaw Holds 2x4. That's Hacksaw Jim Duggan, circa 1985 to 89 WWF, or maybe 87 to 92. Big oak on the nose. Get a little vanilla is coming across as well. Man, it is almost unbearable. You can't get through much of anything else. Yeah, and it's smoky, so I get like smoky oak.
Twirls the other glass.
Kind of like, just burnt wood. Let's see what's going on over here.
Smells the darker wine on his left.
Well, this is a fun show. All right, Mott, hold on. Let me get settled in. This is like a burnt ashtray of oak, and this got a really funky nose as well. This smells like what a campfire smells. Actually, smell this, Mike. You're going to love this analogy. I think it's right. What a campfire smells like after it's been burnt out. Like post-fire? Like just kind of ash meets smoke? Yeah, go ahead.
Mott reaches around and smells each.
A little banana peel coming through. At least there's something else. Getting the oak on that?
Okay, banana peel. That's
You got
I
banana peel
couldn't
on
get the second part.
Did you get the oak on this? Right? Mott went like this. I mean, it's like it punches you in the face. You get the banana peel. Little banana peel, but also pretty smoky. Pretty smoky and oaky, both these wines. Let's start over here.
Gary tastes the darker wine. He breathes into the wine in his mouth while swishing it around. He takes his Jets helmet spittoon and puts it up to his face. He does not spit.
Very new world. California, New Zealand, Australia. Very oaky. Little buttered apple and oak. Kind of like a piece of stick, apple, stick some butter in it, piece of stick, like a 2x4, like a put it in the microwave, beep, take it out. That's what this tastes like. Very oaky, apple, bobbing for apples, oak, butter.
He takes a sip and aerates the wine in his mouth. He grabs the Jets helmet spittoon and does not spit into it.
Good acidity, though. Probably a pretty well-made wine. And if it's under $20, interesting from that standpoint if you like that style. Many of you do. The Farnientes, the Cake Breads, the Chalk Hills. No problem. Barringer Private Reserve. All right, let's move on.
He shakes his head and sips the lighter wine, pulling little intakes of air into the wine in his mouth. He nods and reaches for the Jets helmet spittoon. He doesn't spit.
So the color held true. This is dramatically less oaky on the flavor profile than this last one. Much more crisp, cleaner, and thinner. Not as viscous and heavy as this wine, and kind of fresh. I like the acid. I like this wine better than this wine for sure.
He sips again, aerating the wine with his breath. He takes the Jets helmet spittoon and holds it to his mouth.
It's a little bit more... it's kind of losing me. It kind of falls apart and gets a little watery on the finish. Here's what happened. This was so oaky and overbearing and cloying that this was refreshing.
Moves his hands as if defining the sides of a basketball.
In contrast. And so at first I liked it, but as it coats your palate and I tasted it on the second swing through, I started seeing its shortcomings, which is it's thin and lacks the complexity. But I do like the acid. You're talking to somebody, and let's put it into perspective. You're talking to somebody who's obsessed with drinking water with lemons and limes in it. I need that acid to make it interesting, and I do taste that here. It's a little Sprite-like. Neither of these are that exciting. Tough way, Mott, to start the brown bags. Just tough way to start the brown bags. I'm going to score this wine
darker one
an 87, but wouldn't be surprised if it was a pretty expensive wine. I'm going to score this wine an 88. I'm going to score this wine an 86. 86, 88. I will not recommend either.
Darker 86, lighter 88.
Paths with 4 Z's and 3 Z's. Let's unveil that.
Takes the bag off the darker wine.
The 86 pointer is Walter Hansel, Russian River, Chardonnay, Cuvée Alice, 2007, 35 US dollars, 94 points, Robert Parker. This reminds me very much of the Mount Eden Chardonnay episode. Ken P got very mad at me. Thought that I very much I scored it way low in the 60s. Parker was 95. It is clear that Parker's palate and my palate on California Chardonnays are just over here. He appreciates more than I do the bigger, bolder wines. But, Mott, if you notice, there was a sneaky comment I made in the end. It wouldn't surprise me if this was a premium wine. And that's because the acidity balance and the way this wine was made is very well made. And so even though for my palate it's an 86, I very much respect where Parker's coming from. And it didn't surprise me at all that this was a well-made California wine. As you can rewind it. I made that last parting shot because I knew I wanted to put context, that's not my style, but this wine's made pretty well. Again, I would feel like this wine's going to be a lot less expensive, but as you can see, maybe not a lot less expensive, but less expensive, but more my style. Though it's thin, I think I actually overrated it again. I probably should have scored this even a little lower. I mean, not loving them. Let's stick with 80. Let's stick with 86. Let's go 86 plus on this wine. Literally, that's because it's thin. It's thin. I kind of...
He sips, and this time, he spits.
I like it less and less.
He unveils the lighter wine.
Domaine Hubert Chavet, 2008, Narval, Merceau, White Burgundy. And you can tell by my descriptions that that's what's, old world, new world. Makes sense. I taste the minerality. Very good Merceau producer. 45 U.S. bones, no score. And that's kind of where it's at. So once again, at least, for me and all of you who've been watching me for a while, my palate stays true. I prefer the cleaner, less overbearing Chardonnay, which is why I like this style. But I didn't like either, and they're, $80 combined, Mott. So price, not always an impact on quality. And this one started to, tail on me. Ended up being more expensive. Both premium wines, and it is what it is. You can tell the mood, Mott, has gotten somber. Because I just hate seeing overpriced wines. And, I felt that that's what happened today on the Chardonnay show. Just didn't love them. Wouldn't go out on a limb on them. And that's how it is. Question of the day. It's summer now. Summer, Mott. People watch TV in the summertime, ironically. You get new shows. What show are you most excited to watch this summer? You, with a little bit of me, we're changing the wine.